Gas station surveillance camera captured the gunfire. Investigators believe finding the victim or the vehicle could help them find the suspect. A 2008 white Honda Civic is what they're looking for. Mississippi license plate PJY050.
It don't feel real. I just don't understand. I just feel like those guys had to be possessed with something. I feel like it's demonic. I don't know.
Today we're going to be in Hammond, Louisiana, which is located about 45 miles east of Baton Rouge and 45 miles northwest of New Orleans. On a Thursday morning around 1:15 a.m., calls to 911 began pouring in after multiple shots were heard fired off in the quiet of night. What should have been a normal ride home from work for Patricia Sheppard ended up with her being ambushed with a barrage of bullets and having nowhere to run. Everything went down after the car she was riding in stopped to get gas, and the driver was unaware that people had been telling him since they had left their job. No sooner than the driver parked at the pump and went inside to pay, things would take a fatal turn. Anyone who knew 50-year-old Patricia Sheppard would have never imagined that she would have met her fate with two AR-style rifles aimed directly at her. She was a hard-working mother with two adult children and a precious grandson. She loved the Lord fiercely, and there was not a bad bone in her body. So when her life was taken in the manner that it was, it really left a hole in her children and family. Nothing about the shooting made any sense, but that would quickly change after detectives began gathering vital information. They soon learned of a motive and would give some updates, but they are also asking for the public's help in finding the suspects who shot more than 70 shots, and it was all captured on camera.
Chief Edwin Bergeron Jr. with Hammond Police Department. We're here in reference to a homicide that we had in the early morning hours on today's date. It's approximately 1 a.m. this morning, a little bit after. We received calls in reference to a shooting that occurred at a local gas station. During the shooting, unfortunately, Miss Patricia Sheppard was fatally wounded and ended up losing her life due to absolute disregard for anything and everything and for life. What we know is this. We know that the suspects stalked out a certain vehicle. This was not a random event. This was not just a random person that they drove upon and shot. We know that the suspects sat at Sanderson Farms. They watched the vehicle. They believed that there was another individual that we believe to be the actual target in the car. At some point, that person was in the vehicle and then exited the vehicle to ride with someone else. The suspects followed the vehicle down U.S. Highway 190 West. When they got to the gas station, the driver of the victim vehicle exited the vehicle to go inside. When that person went inside, the other car pulled up next to it, next up to that car, and began shooting. Between 70 to 80 shots were shot into this car. Believing it was somebody else in the car is what we believe. The lady in the car, Miss Patricia, who has lost her life, was an absolute innocent victim in this. She was not involved in it. It's unfortunate that that video was leaked out and the media has played it because now the family has to actually look and see that. Just to be clear, Hammond Police Department did not release that video. Where we are is this. It's an active investigation. The vehicle that was used, we've learned, that was a vehicle involved in a carjacking overnight Tuesday night in Macomb, Mississippi. Macomb Police Department has been working closely with our detectives, and they are actively working that case over there. As of right now, we do have several leads. We're asking for anybody in the public that has information to call us. You can call 985-277-5701, which is our dispatch center, and ask for Detective Williams. Or you can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-554-5245. This is an active investigation. Information is limited at this point. What we do know is there are at least 2 to 3 suspects that we are actively pursuing, that we actively have leads on who we believe they are. And we will continue to work this case as best as we possibly can. And we will not rest until the scumbags like this go to jail. For them to roll up and kill an innocent woman in a car because they thought it was somebody else. We do believe there's some motives behind it, but we're not going to discuss that at this time. That will all come out in due time. But as of right now, we are kind of limited as our detectives are working this case and the rest of their team. They're going to continue to develop leads, and we will give more information as it's available. Does anybody have any questions?
How old was Miss Patricia?
Miss Patricia was, I believe, 50 years old.
You said that they thought it was someone that they believed that was still in the car. Do you guys have like an age roundup of how old you think these suspects are?
No, at this time, we're not going to give that information out. That is our theory. That is what we believe happened. We believe that they were targeting an individual that they assumed was in the car, that was actually in the car earlier, just prior to this incident, and had actually gotten out prior to going to the gas station. But as far as information or further information on the suspects, no, we're not going to give out anything further than what we have right now.
I have a clarifying question and a follow-up, Chief. You said the Macomb, Mississippi carjacking was related. So this car that was allegedly used in this case was a stolen vehicle. Is that your understanding?
It was. This vehicle was a stolen vehicle in a carjacking in Macomb, Mississippi on Tuesday.
Okay, thank you. And then also, 70, 80 shots is just so many. And we spoke with a couple people who frequent the gas station. They just said they're scared to go back. What would your message be directly to those people?
Listen, the citizens of Hammond can feel safe that they know that this was not a random act of violence. This was not just somebody randomly who was getting shot at. This was a targeted incident. They believe they were going after a specific person, is what our belief is. We believe that the evidence so far shows that. This is not just a random act of violence. This is an absolute target going after what they thought a specific person in the vehicle.
Do you have a message for the suspects or just anybody in general thinking about doing crime in Hammond?
We're going to catch them. We're going to catch these suspects. We're going to actively work this scene. And listen, I could call them dirtbags, scumbags, and all kind of other different things and names. But let's be honest. These are the people that are affecting our community. These are the trash bags that are destroying communities across our country every single day. It's the job of law enforcement. It's the job of these detectives, our patrol officers, and everybody that's on the streets every single day to keep our community safe. And we do a good job of doing that in Hammond. It's unfortunate that this incident occurred, but once again, it's an isolated incident, a target incident for this specific person who they thought was in the car. It was unfortunate that Miss Patricia needed a ride home and chose to get a ride home with this person, and she was in the wrong place, unfortunately, at the wrong time.
Was the driver involved in any way, or are you guys following up on that?
We are following up all leads. We do not believe the driver has any criminal involvement in this matter at all.
How long do you feel like they were staking out that one car in particular that person had been in before, prior?
I don't have the exact amount of time, but we know for a fact due to some surveillance videos that the car was there prior to the subjects getting off. They were employees of a local business. When they got off of work at the local business, they were then followed and tailed by the suspect vehicle.
You said that they took off near I-55. Is there any indication if they went north or south?
That's all part of the investigation that we're not going to release at this time. Like I said, we are actively looking at surveillance videos and different things and to our resources that we have. But yes, they definitely left off towards I-55, and we do have some further information that our detectives are actively working and following up on at this time.
Excluding the driver, how many shooters were in the car that actually did the shooting?
So we know for a fact that at least 2 subjects shot. Like I said, it is an ongoing investigation. Look, guys, we're not going to give out much more information at this point. It is still fluid. Our detectives have been working overnight, all night long on this case. They've developed multiple leads. They followed up on things. We've been as far as Macomb, Mississippi, to get information from the car or the people that were carjacked over there. Our guys are going to continue to work day in and day out until we can locate the suspects, identify the suspects, and get them in custody.
The video of what took place is very hard to see, and whoever did this needs to be off the streets immediately. No family should ever have to deal with something like this. She literally never saw it coming. There was nothing she could have done. Even if she wanted to, they had powerful weapons. They were right there, and as soon as they started shooting, I'm sure it caught her by surprise. It truly makes me mad that there is some kind of plague in the Black community. Not saying that crime doesn't happen in other communities, but that the Black community is almost every day somewhere in the United States that some young Black person is just out here unaliving people like they're on the hunt. However, it is not just young people. You have so much DV and family cases that are taking place, and many young children who are losing their parents and seeing it all happen. And that is very, very sad too. My thoughts and prayers are with this family as they grieve this tragic loss. And I pray that all the people involved are caught very soon because there's no telling who else they will hunt down like that. And this probably wasn't their first time doing it. If you know something, please say something because there's no justification in what took place and they definitely need to be off the streets. Please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers as well for this family that has to deal with such a very tragic situation. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke, things change quickly.